My creative practice soothed me and really helped me gain strength and resilience during these very difficult times. Welcome to Soul-Led Creative Women, a podcast for creatively curious women seeking rich, soul-led ways to look after themselves better. My name's Sam Horton, and in this episode, I'll be sharing a bit about my own creative empowerment story and what you have to gain on your road towards creative wellness. So if you're just coming across me for the first time, I'll first paint a little picture of what my life looked like 10 years ago. So 10 years ago or so, I was firmly settled in a corporate business and finance career. I was really good at my job. I didn't struggle to climb the corporate ladder into leadership roles. And in some ways, it was really quite natural for me. I've always been creative, but I struggled to go deep with my practice. I played on the surface a lot, and I really struggled to, I really limited myself and I held back. I'm not sure if it was because I had low self-belief in my creative capabilities, or whether it's because of perfectionism or comparison syndrome, or maybe it was just because I was never really taught to actively value my creativity as anything more than a silly hobby at best, and at worst, a complete waste of time. I had cupboards full of art supplies that would come out for short periods and then sit collecting dust and taking up energy and space. And of course, I still have cupboards full of creative stuff I never get to. It is a lifelong battle, but these days I do have a deep and nourishing creative practice, which has been a huge part of my personal growth and development journey for the past 10 years. In fact, I'd probably say that my creative itch was the universe's way of protecting me, supporting me, and really guiding me during some major life crises and a life awakening in my late 30s. I had this creativity in my heart. It was like a niggle or a whisper, and it just got louder and louder until it just had to become part of my life. It wasn't just one thing that the universe sent me to wake me up and show me the way towards creative empowerment. I'm really loyal to the choices I make in life, so it did take a little bit of nudging, as well as this deep sense that something just wasn't right and there was more to life than the life that I was settling for. I also longed for depth, authenticity, and meaning in my life that just wasn't there. And I also had trouble creating the family life that I had aspired to, the one that I thought I wanted, with the nice house and the white picket fence. You get the idea. My marriage was actually a complete disaster. It simply was not nourishing and supportive. And ultimately, my art practice helped me to release this relationship. It did take quite a few years, but it did happen. But I also had 4 miscarriages following the birth of my textbook baby, Daisy, who is now 12. And for me, at baby loss number 4, I started to listen to the universe telling me that this just wasn't my path and that I needed to find a new way forward. This was my own personal experience and the way that I allowed myself to grieve a life that I thought I wanted and open myself up to a new future. My creative practice soothed me and really helped me gain strength and resilience during these very difficult times. It helped me to heal and to establish personal boundaries that supported my overall well-being. And guess what? The more I created, the more time I found to create. It became really important for me to create. It became a priority. People would say, "Where did you find the time to do that?" Knowing full well that I had a full-time corporate life and a young family that had to be taking a lot from me. But creating filled me up in new, deep, and dynamic ways. And during these early days, I didn't start painting straight away. Sure, I had paints and canvases and even an easel. They've always been there, but I didn't paint to heal or focus on painting at all during those early days. That journey took a good few years to transpire, once I was fully embracing a creative path. I actually had a love affair with my sewing machine for quite a few years. And then I started drawing, which led me to try heaps of different materials. And then all the way back around to acrylic paint, which is really my one true love, by the way. The resistance to creativity is real. And this is because it really truly has healing powers if you are willing to do the deep work. The creative path to wellness is not an easy one, but it is tremendously rewarding. Today, as well as being a practicing artist, following my own creative journey and selling my paintings, I'm also a creative wellness coach, supporting women to develop their own personal art practices as part of a lifestyle that supports every area of their life, mind, body, and soul, and propels them forward on a journey from feeling creatively disconnected to creatively empowered. And I do this work for a couple of reasons. The first reason is because in my own practice, the creative process is the most important part. Preserving the process and following a delicious, slow and winding holistic art practices is central to the way that I work. And sometimes this means it takes a while to complete paintings and creative projects. But I certainly don't want to be in a position where I'm putting significant pressure on producing art. But I also know that it needs to be at the center of what I do. And I believe there is so much gold and depth and wellness to this way of creating and art making that it has become my mission to share what I know and what I'm learning and what I practice with as many women as I can. I believe that the creative journey towards creative empowerment acts like a mirror and can be a foundation for our overall personal wellness and growth, one feeding the other. So the format of this podcast is going to be weekly. I will drop in and do some short solo episodes like this, sharing my own creative practice, my process, and delving into using therapeutic art to support improved self-connection and well-being. And I also intend to have 2 monthly experts, one focused on creative stories, whether that be their creative journey or their creative process. And the second expert will be in the field of women's wellness and empowerment, sharing supportive ideas that can complement us holistically as we choose a personal growth journey centered around creativity and art making. So stick around as we embark on this journey together. Take care and see you next time. If you'd like to receive 3 actionable creative wellness tips personalized to your circumstances that you can implement easily straight away, head on over and take my free quiz at samhorton.co/quiz.